how did we find the job?
What region were we in?
Why did we choose hospitality? What was the accommodation like? The pay? And how much money were you able to put away?
What did we do all day to get that kind of wage?
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? So a couple months ago, we completed our 88 days for our working holiday visa. And before coming to Australia, we were curious what working in Australia would be like. So today we're going to go over our job experience, I guess, of what it was like for us working in Australia so that you have a better idea if it's something that you want to do, of what it'll be like, potentially.
Yeah, so the first question is, how did we find the job? So we tried, first of all,
What do you call that?
a dartboard.
Dart. It's like dry bombing or dry spamming or
It's like 52 pickup. Basically, we threw out 100.
yeah,
99.
99
99
resumes.
Just in hospitality
Yeah,
alone.
along the coast. When
Yeah,
we were trying
so-
to find a job,
We didn't look for companies that were like,
hiring.
seeking out new employees. We just threw them out to places that we wanted to go.
And spoiler, it didn't work.
We didn't get any responses from that.
No, we got some responses saying, check our job website. And
Yeah.
everyone else just ignored us. So if you're trying to find a job, don't do that.
Yeah,
We
that's not
actually-
recommended.
No, we ended up finding our job. We actually kind of lucked out, I think. But on a backpacker group on Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah, a lot of jobs go up on Facebook marketplaces. That's just what people tend to
backpacking.
use. Obviously, you can use Indeed, you can use other things, but those backpacker jobs, they know that you're looking for a working holiday visa, so it's all formatted really nice for you.
Yeah.
It says if it will actually go towards your 40 or
80
yeah,
days.
if it will 44 days. If it will go towards your 88 days or not.
Yeah.
So it's displayed nicely, and a lot of those jobs are places where backpackers currently work, and you can like kind of see reviews of what it's like there. It's much nicer.
Yeah, so if you're trying to find a job, join like those backpacker groups. At first I thought it was kind of sketchy and didn't really seem very legit, but that is how most people that we've spoken to have gotten other jobs and
Yeah.
gotten the job that we worked at. So we found it on a backpacker page, just replying to a post. What region were we in? So you probably already know this if you are doing or looking to do your 88 days in Australia, is for hospitality, which is what we were in. Remote Queensland, but we were also above the Tropic of Capricorn. We were above the Tropic of Capricorn. So we were able to do hospitality and have that count towards our 88 days.
Our job was just, what was it, 2.5 hours off the coast.
Yep.
So it's just a little bit inland, and it counted towards our 88 days. Next question is, why did we choose hospitality? So we didn't. I actually had no experience. Gabrielle had minimal experience.
Yeah.
So we just were applying. I was thinking we were going to get farm work, but all of the farms around our area weren't looking. Or
We were out of season.
it was out of season, or they were looking for like a couple weeks of like pickers.
Yeah.
Which we needed our 88 days. We didn't want to just do a couple weeks of work.
Yeah.
So hospitality kind of chose us. So what was the accommodation like
At our job.
So a lot of the jobs in Australia that are for backpackers, they have accommodation for you. And if they don't,
Farming jobs.
you should be getting pretty good pay, because we paid nothing for rent. We got free meals. Like, really, we didn't have to buy much food.
Yeah. Because we worked at like a pub.
Yes,
they
a
had
pub,
food.
hotel. So we got free food. It was $40 worth
Yeah.
every day.
The house that we lived in was a 4-bedroom house, and it had 4 couples in it, so 8 people.
4 couples
To a
as
house.
well.
At one point, there were people living in the backyard. In a
At
bus.
multiple points.
Yeah, multiple points.
There were people living in the backyard as
Yeah.
well. And remember, then it was 10 people to one toilet.
Thankfully, the toilet and the shower were in separate rooms, but there was one toilet and one shower. There was obviously a kitchen, but none of us really used it a whole lot because we got free meals.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's what the house was like living in. It was
And-
really convenient though, because it was like a 5-minute walk away from work, and it was free, so really we can't complain.
No, I was gonna say you might ask, how was it? It was way better than what I thought it was gonna
Yeah.
be. I was a little nervous when we first got there. We
Yeah.
walked into the house. There's people everywhere. It seemed messy, all that good stuff. But as like the people kind of filtered through, we kind of like created like a little family.
Yeah.
And we had family dinners. We had like a big yard to play in. We could have
Play.
fires. We did play in
Like
it.
we're
There was
kids.
a lot of badminton.
Yeah.
There was a lot of pass,
Fires and
fires,
dinners and
drinking.
Yeah.
But it was actually amazing. It was such a good experience.
yeah.
And
And thankfully, a lot of the people that you're obviously going to be living with, I was kind of nervous that maybe I wouldn't get along with a house full of random strangers, but since everyone's backpacking, everyone's traveling, you can find something in common with almost everyone, obviously, that was in that house.
yeah,
Because we're all doing the same thing, and it's kind of a big thing, to decide to just put a pause on life and travel for a bit. So, yeah, it was honestly really great. Coming from someone who's a hermit, so I feel like that means a
someone
lot.
who lived alone
Yeah.
for like 2 years.
I prefer to live alone too, so. No, but I liked it with people.
Nice. I think a big thing, obviously, while working is the pay and how much money were you able to put away. So, working in Australia, the minimum wage is the highest in the world. It's almost double what we have back home. So the minimum wage was 29 point something for casual
Casual.
workers.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we were
You
getting
get paid more casual than you do if you were on a contract.
Yeah, exactly.
Because they can just
But
let you go at any point.
as a backpacker, you're casual.
Yeah.
So we got paid really good. Also, Saturday wages were 34
34 or something.
or something, and Sunday was around 40,
Yeah, which is crazy.
which is crazy. And so the pay was good.
Yeah.
We were able to put money away because we were
We got good hours
we
too.
were working 6 days a week. We had 1 day off a week.
Yeah.
And when we first got there, the hours were really good. I was averaging around 50 to 60 hours a
Hours.
week. So after tax,
Yeah.
I was bringing home anywhere from like 1,400 to 2,000.
Really?
A
What was your
week.
lowest paycheck?
Well,
I'm curious.
like while working full time,
Yeah.
probably around like 1,200.
Really?
Was like, I think 1,200 was probably the lowest, like near the end.
Yeah.
But I also wasn't taking shifts, and
Yeah.
I didn't care. I was kind of done working.
Yeah. We really lucked out though, because there were a lot of backpackers that we had lived with that had other jobs, and they said that this job was the easiest to save money, not only because we were getting free accommodation and free food, but also because we did get such good hours and we were all employed at a casual rate. So I think there are a lot of jobs in Australia where people go into it thinking they'll get a lot of hours, and
Yes.
then they don't end up getting hours and they have to find a new job, which is also important because for your 88 days, it's kind of confusing, and you might already know this if you're looking at working in Australia on the visa, but to have both of your weekends count or your days off count, you need to be working at least 38 hours in a week. So if you get under the 38 hours, the whole week doesn't count, just the days that you worked counts. And I think there might be more into that. So you need to make sure that if you're looking for a job that you actually will be getting a lot of hours, otherwise your 88 days are going to take a whole lot longer to
Yeah.
get.
And that's one thing, our job, even near the end, we were a little overstaffed at the end and
Yeah.
things got slow. They always made sure we got our 38 hours as like a minimum.
Yeah.
So in the time that we worked, I worked like 5 months, a little over. Gabrielle worked like 6. We both put away like around 30,000, maybe a little less, maybe a little more, but within that range, around 30,000 is what we were able to put away.
Yep. Okay. So you might be wondering, what did we do all day to get that kind of wage?
As unexperienced,
Yeah. So the job that we were at, there were a couple different positions, I guess, that you could work. So there was a bottle shop, which is a liquor store for anyone that's not Australian. There was the bar, because it was a pub. There was a bistro, You could also do maintenance, or there was also housekeeping as well. So do you want to go first with your roles of what you did mainly?
Yeah, so my roles, when I first got there, I was behind the bar most of the time, which is just bar work. It's pretty straightforward. And
Really going for it.
I should say bar work and security. We didn't have security and it was needed. So
I just expected the bartenders would be security, but that's besides the point, I suppose.
yeah, so sometimes it was me. Usually there was some other people, but that was part of it. Then near the end,
What were your hours on your bar shifts?
Oh, geez. Hours on bar shift where I would start around 3 and I was done usually back at the house 1 to 1:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
So.
And then you wouldn't do the morning ones though. So then what would the bottle shop?
Yeah, and then once I got further along working there, they kind of stopped putting, I was on like 1 to 2 closes a night, and then I would work in the mornings. I was doing bottle shop. It was like 9 till 2. And then I would come back at 5 till 9 was driving. I was doing delivery driving. So I got it some of the best. I got good hours. The split shift was a little annoying, but I could go do things during the day.
Yeah.
So my hours were really good.
Yeah.
What'd you do?
I was bistro. So I had no experience in bistro, and then I ended up being the bistro manager. So every single day I would get the exact same shift. So my paycheck every week was pretty similar. So I would work 11 to 3 and then come back from 5 to 9. So it was a little tough having a split shift because it basically takes up your whole day. But it really wasn't that bad. It wasn't that hard. You just polished some cutlery, dealt with some angry people when the food was taking too long. And yeah, it's pretty cruisy in Australian fashion. Pretty cruisy. I should also say that when we first started, I was also doing some housekeeping. So there were like hotel rooms. I also did some morning cleans. Honestly, none of the work, the nice thing about hospitality is none of the work is exceptionally difficult on your body, really, you know, which is kind of nice.
Yes.
Like it is, I guess the thing is when you're working on a farm, you work long hours. When you're working in hospitality, by the time you get a split shift, it also feels like long hours because it's basically your whole day. But it was easy work on the body. It was relatively easy on the mind other than when people got angry at you. So, yeah.
Was it worth it?
Was it worth it? On the count of 3, put your thumbs up. Or down. 3, 2, 1.
At an angle. It was worth it. We saved up our money. We can now travel freely.
I think we lucked out, honestly.
We did luck out. Obviously every job has its problems with some sort of management. So there's always someone at a job. So it was definitely still worth it. We saved up a good amount of money. We met some really cool people.
Yeah.
We have definitely lifelong memories there. Some of the people that we spoke to had many other jobs, and even through the struggles of our job, they said it was the best.
Yeah, like people ended up staying even though there were things that annoyed them, so.
Yeah, exactly. And most people that are there, like currently, all are staying over the 3 months.
Yeah.
Like when we went there, we talked about just doing 88 days. That was the whole plan. And what?
Yeah, I'm agreeing.
Yeah. I said 88 days.
Yeah, Dustin didn't want to stay any longer than 88 days.
I said I want to get accepted into my second year, and I'm gone.
Out.
But
then you see the money start rolling in. You start making some friends.
Yeah. Honestly, it was such a good time.
Yeah.
So meeting people, like hospitality is definitely so good. And if you get the opportunity to live in a staff house, take it. Take it. There might be the odd horror story, whatever. It's worth it. You get to meet people. It's such a good experience. And it's people from all around the world.
Yeah.
It was so fun sharing little things that like little common things and little things where we do not do the same thing at all.
And also I feel like I want to say that people that are like scared of working somewhere more regional or like in a smaller city or a smaller town, that isn't like in their dream location on the coast. It is kind of neat also working somewhere where it's a smaller town, because I feel like it's easier to build connections with people because you see people repeatedly come in so often. So if the only job that you can get, or the only jobs that you're finding, aren't in like the perfect spot in the jungle or this cute little place in, you know, little city that you wanted to work in so badly, you might as well try it out, because yeah, you never know what an experience is going to give you, and you're probably going to end up enjoying the surprises.
You know, also,
What?
like living somewhere, it kind of loses its charm. You know, like if you lived in your favorite place, you wouldn't see it the same.
Right. Yeah.
And not that that's what you should base it off of, but
Keep your special place special.
yeah, like we started saying that the place we were in was not that great.
Yeah.
But because we were there for so long, we started to love it. We started to love the people. We got to know the locals. It was such a good time. And then also, after living inland, going to the beach,
Oh, you
felt
appreciate everything so much more when
glorious.
you don't have it.
And also like green,
Yeah.
lush
Oh my
green,
gosh.
beautiful.
Yeah.
Was it worth it?
Yeah.
Yes. So we're curious, if you're watching this video, are you already in Australia looking for a job? Or are you still sitting there thinking about coming to Australia and looking for a job?
And if so, what's holding you back? Let us know in the comments where you're at. Is that good?
That was beautiful.
All right. Love you. See you next time.